In this video, I'm going to be discussing custom variables. I'm going to explain what they are, how they relate to cold email campaigns, and finally, whether you should use them in your own outreach campaigns. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is George. I'm the founder of Email Chaser. Now let's get into the video. A custom variable is a small piece of text surrounded by brackets that you can insert into your cold email templates so that when you click launch campaign and you're sending the same email to multiple different leads, it automatically inserts the specific information about each lead. So for example, let's say you are creating a campaign and you have 1,000 leads that you're emailing. Instead of manually writing 1,000 different emails, one for each lead, where you have to write, hi John, hi George, hi Andy, that's gonna take a long time. So instead what you can do is create one campaign, and in that one campaign, when you write your email, you can insert custom variables into those key pieces of information, such as the first name or the job title. And then you click the launch campaign button just one time, and it's gonna then send that campaign to all 1,000 leads. It's going to automatically update those key pieces of information for each lead without you having to manually resend each email for each particular person. Later in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do that inside Email Chaser, and you'll have a better understanding of how that looks and works. But before I get into that, I want to discuss the concept of should you even use custom variables in the first place? If you have a very small lead list, for example, let's say you're only reaching out to 100 companies. In that situation, you don't need to use custom variables because in that particular scenario, you're probably better off just manually writing each email to each company and really personalizing it that way. But if you're doing a higher volume, such as 500 leads or 1,000 leads or more, then you definitely need to use custom variables, because if you don't, there aren't enough hours in the day to manually write each email for 1,000 plus leads. I'm inside my Email Chaser account, and I'm going to show you how you can add custom variables to your cold emails. You want to click the Create Campaign button, and you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to choose from a CSV file. You upload your CSV file here. I'm just going through this quickly to show you what it looks like. You're eventually going to get to this page, and this is where you write your cold email. And as you can see, there is a subject line and then also the section for your body text. So for example, I might be writing this email just one time, but when I launch this campaign, it might send this to 1,000 leads, depending on how many leads are in the CSV file that I uploaded. But let's just say I want to use the subject line question for company name. Then I would just add the company name custom variable here. And now for every single lead, it's going to automatically insert their company name there, so that it might say question for Peak or question for Nike or question for Coca-Cola or whoever you're emailing. And then you can do the same thing with the first name. So you can say hi first name. This is kind of obvious, but as you can see, it's going to insert each lead's first name so that it saves you a lot of time compared to having to manually write each email for each person. A really cool feature that Email Chaser has is if you add a signature, we also have custom variables in the signature section. And the reason why that's powerful is because if you're sending your cold email campaigns from multiple different sender email accounts, then we're going to be able to automatically insert the correct domain and email address for each sender email account. I'll show you what that looks like now. So I'm just going to put an example signature. And then here, I can click the Add Custom Variable button, and I can add a domain, and then I can also add email. And as you can see, this is what our email signature now looks like. And for the domain custom variable and the email custom variable, it's going to automatically insert the correct domain and email. This is optional, of course. You don't have to do this, but a lot of people do because it looks more professional. And you might be wondering, I still don't understand what this means. Why do we need to use custom variable for the domain and email and the signature? Well, it's because if we go back earlier on in this Create Campaign flow, you'll notice that early in the flow, on this page, when we're selecting which email accounts you want to send your cold email campaign from, notice that I selected 2 different email accounts. You can add an unlimited number of email accounts to your campaign. The more you add, the more emails you can send each day. But my point is that you'll notice that each one of these is a different email and different domains. So this is George at emailchaserapp.com. This is George at emailchaserpro.com. And the list could go on. They could be 10 or 20 different email accounts on 10 or 20 different domains. And that's important because that means that when you get to the page where you're writing your email and adding your signature, if you want to include your domain and email into the signature, then it's going to look really weird if you send a cold email from one email account and one domain to someone, but then it shows in the signature a different domain and a different email because you use static text. So that's why you have to, well, you don't have to, but I recommend that you use custom variables in the signature as well. And not all companies do this. In fact, as far as I'm aware, Emailchaser is one of the only cold email software tools that has this feature with custom variables specifically in the signature. So I recommend that you use Emailchaser for this purpose. One final thing I'll mention is that the #1 mistake people make when using custom variables is using bad data. If the data in your CSV file is inaccurate, then it's going to kill your cold email campaigns. For example, let's say we're using the company name custom variable, but all the data in your CSV file with all your leads is just not formatted correctly. And so let's say you wanted it to say question for Nike, but instead of saying question for Nike, it said question for Nike LLC or whatever their official legal company is called. That's going to just destroy your response rates because then it's very obvious to your prospects that you're using a cold email software to send the same email to more than one person and that you're using custom variables. And that means that people are less likely to respond because people don't really want to respond if they feel like you're sending the same email to more than one person. So that's why data quality is super important. And that's just another reason why I recommend that you use Emailchaser, because one of our features is our LinkedIn email finder, which you'll see on the left sidebar here. And that's basically a Google Chrome extension that allows you to export leads from LinkedIn Sales Navigator with their email addresses and other relevant information. But the reason why I'm mentioning this now is because our LinkedIn email finder, when it exports the leads as a CSV file, automatically cleans all the data so that all of the information like company name, job title, even first name, last name, everything is perfect. We remove all the crap and make sure it's perfect so that when you insert it into your cold emails, it looks really clean. It looks like you wrote that email just for each particular lead, and you're going to maximize your response rate. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more videos like this about cold email and sales, then subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want to start sending cold emails, you can sign up for a free Emailchaser account. I hope to see you in the next video.